Hey, welcome back again. It's January, and at the beginning of the month, you know what time it is. Check out the news for Microsoft Defender XDR platform. This is exactly what we're going to do. For everything in here, I'm basing myself on the original and the only single source of truth, which is right from the program manager's desk here, Higlights. So this is everything that happened across the XDR platform for Microsoft. And throughout the list, we'll have feature announcements, but also blog posts that are related to each technology. I'm going to skip the blog posts, and I'm only going to focus on the new features or highlights that I think are interesting for you. If you want to learn more and check out everything in the newsletter, of course, you'll find a link to this page right here in the description. So the first thing sets out with, it's the XDR news, and here's a little bit of a fun thing. This is essentially a look at a Wrapped. So everyone was looking at Spotify Wrapped and summarization of what you did throughout the year on that particular service. Well, there is the Microsoft boxed panel that pops up once you open up your incidents page. Now, of course, we're a third through the month, so perhaps someone has already seen this in your environment, but have a look at your incidents and may still be able to see your own little Microsoft box for XDR in your environment, which spits out summaries of how many incidents you resolved and how many threats have been seen in your environment, and so on and so forth. Something else happening to the entire platform as a whole is the unified RBAC model is now generally available. So this essentially simplifies what kind of operations all your users and operators and security operators can achieve and, of course, perform in your platform all throughout your XDR stack. So think of Defender for Office, Defender for Identity, Defender for Endpoint. So everything now sits under one RBAC model. There's also been Incident Queue has updated filters, search, and added new function where you can create your own filter data sets. And you can now assign incidents to a user group or another user. Flipping the page to Microsoft Security Experts. Remember, Security Experts is a service on top of your XDR platform for Microsoft, but Experts adds essentially a service layer from Microsoft personnel that looks into your incidents, looks into your environment, that provides you with guidance and, of course, help to go through your incidents. The first thing that they announce here is the existence of a discussion space, or essentially a panel and a page where you can join a community to discuss and exchange information, exchange knowledge. So if you're not part of it, make sure you subscribe to Microsoft Security Experts, become part of the community, share your thoughts, share with the community. I know there are a lot of MVPs who participate in here and they share their knowledge, so that's very valuable if you operate and you maintain your Microsoft environment in your environment and you would like to continue to grow in that space. Also, regarding Defender for Experts, now the platform lets you exclude devices and users from remediation actions that are taken by the experts. So you can create a pool of devices that are perhaps high value and you don't want someone external to deal with any incidents that happen to them. That's now available. So this here is the official page where details how this experience looks from a management perspective, and you can have a look at that if you want. Looking at Defender for Endpoint, we have the public preview of Apple user enrollment support for Defender for Endpoint on iOS. So essentially what this does, it offers security to IT teams to deploy Defender for Endpoint to user-enrolled devices so that work, data, and applications are protected, while end-user privacy is upheld on those devices. Next up, Defender for Identity. So this is very exciting. There is the new dashboard. So essentially, if you jump into your security portal, as I'm doing right now, you're going to be able to find on the left-hand side here under Identities section, you're going to find the dashboard. And what it's called, it's ITDR dashboard. ITDR stands for Identity Threat Detection and Response Dashboard. So it's essentially one dashboard for everything identity in your environment. So it concentrates information on your on-prem environment or on-prem users, potentially your cloud users and your hybrid users as well, and of course helps you find insights related to identity in your environment. So it's yet another section in the dashboard where it creates a clear distinction of everything related to another domain that's part of your XDR. And of course, a big part of it is the secure score just for that domain. So if you own identity in your environment and you need to up your game in the secure score, you can easily find that particular segment of secure score in this platform right here. You can also see the health issues from there within settings and identities area, and there are a little more tools there that have been released as well to capacity planning for MDI. And Microsoft announced recently in December that now security posture assessments are available for Active Directory certificate services as well, sensors. So that's in preview. Next up, Defender for Cloud Apps. So Defender for Cloud Apps is, of course, protects your SaaS applications and how users access them. The biggest thing here is, of course, the addition of a specific category for generated AI apps that's now gone GA. So this was announced in November at Ignite. And it was in public preview. Now it's generally available. So if I jump back into my dashboard within Defender for Cloud Apps, within Cloud Discovery, for example, or Cloud App Catalog, potentially Cloud App Catalog is probably better, I will be able to find the category here called Generative AI, and you can see it has more than 400 different SaaS applications that are put into this different field. As you can see, Microsoft Designer, Microsoft Bing Chat, Copilot, Amazon Poly, Google Dialogflow, Bard, all of these different SaaS-based generative AI tools that any user can access can also be found easily through this platform right here. And of course, you get the risk score, you get actions that you can take on each one of them. My dog is going nuts here, but it's just a lot easier for you to create policies based on this and sanction, or of course unsanctioned apps based on that. And something that I'm particularly very excited about is the SSPM support. So SSPM stands for SaaS Security Posture Management, and what it is, it essentially encompasses best or good practices on how you should configure and check the risk posture of these third-party SaaS services right from the XDR portal. So that's very exciting. So think about all these third-party SaaS services that you utilize and you have to utilize because your business requires access to Dropbox, for example, such as is listed here, or it requires access to Atlassian Workplace. How do you ensure from one single platform that your configuration is done properly on these third-party services? Well, SSPM support for these apps has been put in preview. So that's very exciting. And you can read more about the prereqs here and, of course, how you can set up these connectors so that it all works in the document in here. Related to Defender for Office, the biggest news here is the unification of the RBAC model, which I mentioned at the very top there, but now Defender for Office 365 scenarios that previously required specific access groups, email and collaboration permissions and Exchange Online permissions now are part of the unified RBAC. And there has been a lot of news for Defender for IoT. So the OT network sensor now runs on Debian 11. There's now the on-premises management console has been announced its retirement for next year, 2025. But what's mostly exciting for me is the reference documents, such as the new architecture for hybrid and air-gap support. So this here is an example, but also the details of what this new architecture looks like for Defender for IoT. And it goes into details to explain that this new guidance for this architecture for monitoring hybrid and air-gapped networks includes, it aims at efficiency, security, and reliability to your SOC with less components to maintain and troubleshoot, all good. What's really interesting here is that the sensor technology used in this new architecture allows for on-premises processing that keeps data within your own network, reducing the need for cloud resources and improving performance. And then just before the image there, you can see at the bottom, this paragraph explains a little further here that the high-level architecture that you can see here on screen of our recommendations for monitoring and maintaining Defender for IoT systems, where each OT sensor connects to multiple security management systems in the cloud or on premises. If I read here at the bottom, it explains a little further what they mean by multiple security systems management. So for example, in the image you can see above, communications for alerts, syslog, messages, APIs are shown in a black solid line, so they traverse locally. So on-premises management communications show on purple line. It's a different colored line here, as you can see. Remote access broker, and cloud and hybrid management communications shown in dotted black line. So you can see you have different layers of controls based on different needs, and that's very, very positive for anyone looking at the platform, and that needs to ensure that air-gapped environment is kept as it should, which every customer that looks at Defender for IoT will have concerns for. And this is pretty much it in terms of what's been released for this month. There's a lot more blog posts, there's a lot more interesting and more details that you should look into if you're interested in learning more about them. Definitely check out the description. For everything else, if you want to learn more about Microsoft security and of course cybersecurity in general and cloud, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because I will always be posting more of this content. Otherwise, see you next time.